And we are live. Welcome to our monthly Fitness Friends stream. Over here, we've got Shayy, Paul, and Kirsten joining me today. And today, we are going to talk about basically how to balance our fitness journey and our goals or our weight loss journey during the holidays while actually enjoying the holidays without being guilty. And we're also going to dive into talking about self-care during the holidays because we all know the holidays can be a very busy time. So it's so important to make time for yourself just to pause and recollect. So we are going to let everyone here do their little intro. So Shayy, just take it away. Tell me about your channel, what you're about, and
Okay, my name is Shayy, and I make health, fitness, lifestyle content with some comedy in there. I try to motivate people, just motivate myself in the process, but that's pretty much what I make my videos on.
awesome. Awesome. She's definitely underplaying herself. Shay is amazing. I love her content. I love her routines, how she shares her self-care routines. I love how she has never like backed down from her battle with IBS. It's IBS, right?
Yes,
Yeah, because I'm gonna confuse. There's so many in digestive disease because there's Crohn's disease. Like a lot of people are struggling, and just to see her not give up and to find ways to help herself is just super inspiring. How she's using nutrition, exercise, and like overall care and the supplements she takes too. So yeah, that's that.
Thank you.
No problem. Paul?
Yeah. Hey, everybody. My name's Paul. As I tell everybody in all of my videos, I am a master's runner and a certified running coach. And that's what my channel called Dev Runner is all about. And I like to share tips and tricks so that people can become runners, so that you can learn how to run right from as a super beginner all the way through to where you're just pushing as hard as you can and trying to run new personal records at various distances. And, I like to be very real on my channel. I like to share my own struggles with nutrition, with weight control, with my unbelievable sugar addiction. And I like to keep it real because, anybody who pretends that they've got it all figured out is pretending. So, that's why I love everybody that I'm sharing the screen with, because we're all very open and honest, and we all help each other out, and hopefully we will help you.
Yes. Thank you for that, Paul. Thank you. Kirsten?
Well, I'm so excited to be here. And as you can see, my dog is really excited to be here too. Wait. As he just yawns. I am excited to be here. I am a boot camp coach. I am a personal trainer and health coach. And I work with people online and in person. And my whole thing is community. I believe community helps us exceed. And I believe community is great for encouragement and support. And let's be honest, we're all not our strongest every single day. So when we're not, we need people to pull us up and to help us out. So that's kind of my thing. Nutrition, fitness. I do 2 uploads a week on my YouTube channel. And so that's me.
All right, that's awesome. Okay, thank you for those introductions, everyone. And I don't know why I'm being so formal. I don't know what's going on. We're gonna loosen up. We're gonna loosen up. Usually I'm good with all these, but with everything going on, it's like, whoa. Okay, we're gonna dive into the first question. And my question is, what are some strategies and tools that someone could use to help them balance their fitness goals and enjoying the holidays? I can go first. So for me, tools that you can use. First of all, number one, do not beat yourself up. You have to be realistic. You want to be able to enjoy the holidays, but you also want to keep your goals in mind. Personally, what I like to do is plan out everything I'm doing in the month of December. I do it for every month anyhow. But to really be strategic and plan in days that I'm going to be going to Christmas parties or planning days I'm going to be going to work parties. Just being ahead of the game. So when time comes that where I'm in a situation where, you know, there might be temptations, or it might be like a scheduled day where I'm not allowed, but where I am telling myself to have this, it's going to be controlled and mindful. Because when we catch ourselves off guard and we are not prepared, that's when disaster strikes. And I honestly believe that with my journey with binge eating. So yeah, those are some tools I would always use. For me, I like to go really strict until from like the 1st of December all the way to the 23rd. And then I enjoy myself for 3 days, and then I jump right back into it on Boxing Day or the day after, depending on how I'm feeling. So yeah, how about you, Shayy? Would you like me to repeat the question, or?
No, I think I got it. Okay. For me personally, what I'm going to be doing for the holidays is like trying to find healthy alternatives. So for me, that's because like I love sweet things, you know, I love pizza, I like burgers, all that stuff. And it's either I'm indulging way too much or I just like deprive myself. So I need to find an in-between. So I've decided that this year I'm going to try to find healthy alternatives and just try to make my own recipes and like the things I post on my Instagram. So I have like the protein cookies, protein pancakes, muffins, donuts, all that stuff. So I don't feel guilty eating the things that I love, but I can also stay on track. You know what I mean? Because like I know that in the past years, like it's the holidays, everybody wants to drink, they want to eat, stuff like that. But I'm gonna try to be a lot more mindful and healthier with the things that I eat, and I'm gonna share those recipes with everyone so everyone can kind of, you know, get some help too. I know somebody requested that I make healthy alternative holiday cocktails, so I'm gonna try to do that as well. So I think it'll be fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, there are tons of healthy alternative cocktails. Like I can't wait to jump into that. Paul.
It's my turn, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So you guys know me well enough to know that I'm a pretty left brain kind of dude. I like to kind of like lay things out very specifically. And one of the things that I really find helpful, any of you who are like in a corporate situation whatsoever, I'm sure know about SMART goals.
Everyone uses those.
I hate to go there, but but just to break it down really quick, folks, I'm reading this off of my screen here. Your goals should be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. So for me, what that really boils down to is, in real life, is just always having a race on the books, like on the calendar, having a specific goal to shoot for, because if I don't book something and I just let time go by, then it's very easy to become sort of like, well, you know, it's not going to hurt me to eat that box of Little Debbie cakes. You know, what's the difference? I don't have a race coming up. I can chill and just enjoy myself, which, you know, folks, I just want to say that, like, you know, after you've worked hard, you do have to reward yourself, and don't try to be too strict all the time. You have to have your on time and your off time. You have to have a time where you're mentally recharging and even physically just giving your body more calories than you've been giving it if you've been working really hard for a long time. But yeah, just I always try to like finish one goal and immediately book another, because otherwise I drift. So that's the big one for me.
Yeah, I like that, Paul. I think it's so important to be always working towards something. Like sometimes you can have like a major goal, like you just did your marathon. And then after that, maybe do like a goal, but not so strenuous, like something little, but always be like looking forward to something, because that's how you stay motivated.
Yeah,
Kirsten,
exactly.
I realize I screwed. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think it's really important that when you set your goal, do it publicly. Let other people know. Don't keep it a secret, because then at least for me, I can't speak for everybody, but when other people know I'm shooting for something, I will not let go nearly as easily of trying to reach that goal, as opposed to just like, I'll just do it next month. You know what I mean? Or I'll just do it in 6 months instead.
Yeah.
If I say, you know, whatever the case may be, March 4th, I'm going to run the fastest marathon I've ever run in my life, and I put it out there on YouTube, well, now the onus is on me to follow through. So.
No, they talk about that in The Power of Habit, I believe, announcing it because it holds you more accountable. Because now you got the social pressure of making sure you do it. It puts more on you, which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
So yeah, Kirsten, sorry, I messed up the order. It should have been, but my brain isn't 100%.
No, you're good. You're so good.
Go ahead.
Accountability is huge, which is why I do monthly challenges on my Facebook challenge page, and we're in push-ups this month. And accountability is everything, because if you're working with people to achieve a goal, that's accountability, and people are expecting you to do it. And so, yes, Paul, accountability is everything. And I think it's really interesting that we're all so different. Like, we're all like fitness minded, but we're also different, and our answers are so different. And I love that, because it shows that every person is different, and you have to find what works for you. Like for me, I would tell my clients, keep it simple. It's a busy season. It's the holiday season. Find a goal that you can achieve and stick with it. And guess what? It's not an option. Like, we're going to do it. You're not going to listen to your feelings or emotions or I'm tired. No, That's a goal. You're going to do it. You wrote it down. That's your goal. I'm going to hold you accountable. So keep it simple, make it achievable, and don't go too crazy, because it is a busy time of year. And let's be mindful of that. Let's be organized, and let's be smart about it. There's that smart again, Paul. Let's be smart about it.
I absolutely agree. Just keep it simple. Like, what is that term? KISS? Keep it simple.
Yes, keep it simple. Stupid. Yeah.
You know what it means. Like, keep it simple. Being like, the stupid term, I feel, is like stop overwhelming it or making it unnecessary. Just stop it. That's what that means.
Do what you can. Be a friend to yourself. Yes. Like, you don't have to be your own enemy and be like, okay, these are my goals way up here. No, it's a busy time of year right here. Right here.
Yeah, keep it achievable. Keep it something that's realistic. Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
I absolutely agree. What are you guys personally going to do to help balance your fitness journey or your fitness goals with the holidays? Like, what are your strategies you're going to do? I'll go first. Like I said, let's talk about this. I'm going to be doing Derek's Journey's Holiday Shred Challenge. So basically, I found out that this challenge is in line with what I decided to do with myself anyway. Every year, I always go strict from December 1st to December 23rd, and I keep up with my nutrition. I'm strict. I do have a scheduled cheat day because I'm going to need one in between then. And then I enjoy Christmas. So Derek's Holiday Shred Challenge, which I'll be joining from Derek's Journey, will be exactly that. We are going to do a weight loss challenge. So like Kirsten talked about before, it's keeping it community. Getting the community involved, especially this time of year. It's going to be so hard. So I'm so excited to join that. I'm so excited to document it, to chat to people on Derek's Facebook page that he has and everything like that. So that is my plan. And portion control. I remember in one of Shayy's videos, what was it? It was like a mini cheesecake you had.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I need to get that. It just forces me to have a small bite because I love cheesecake. I love cheesecake, but getting the mini ones, it's probably like 150, 200 calories or so. A little bit more sugar, but not the end of the world. I can portion control myself and be like, I know I'm getting exactly that. So that is another tip right there. Anyway, Shayy, what strategies are you going to do personally to keep the balance going?
Yeah, well, speaking of sweet things, like for me, that's my weakness. So honestly, my tool is Pinterest. It's like an addiction for me. Like, I have so many boards with healthy recipes, meal prep ideas, all these healthy treats, high protein meals, stuff like that. And for me, I don't know, like a lot of the people that watch me, we get bored of our food. If my food's not interesting, it's not creative, it's not like eye pleasing, I don't want to eat it. So I get bored very easily. So when I go on Pinterest, I kind of look like, okay, you know what? I want to focus on my protein this week. So I want to make some chicken. So I search chicken. I find all these nice recipes. I don't get bored. So I have that. And specifically for the holidays, things like, like cakes and baking and all that stuff, healthy meals, that's going to be the trickiest for me, but Pinterest is there for me. So yeah. And I like cooking. And recently I just discovered I like baking apparently. So
Oh, wow.
I need to get on that baking jam. I really do. It really helps, to save money. So I'm not spending money on these grenade protein bars or whatever, and just enjoying the process and appreciating it. Because when you make a process of cooking and eating healthy meals or baking, it literally reinforces that habit. It just subconsciously reinforces it. And over time, it makes sticking to it easier. So exactly. I absolutely love that, Shayy. Kirsten, sorry. I switched it up. Sorry.
That is okay. Daniela, you can do whatever you want, my friend.
So,
for me, the holidays are no different than any time of the year. I'm going to do my thing. I've got my goals, and I mean, there's extra parties and stuff like that, but I mean, that's manageable. I eat before I go to a party. I eat so I don't like fill up when I'm at the party. I drink lots of water. I'm old, so I know what I need to do to like get through. And for me, it's not an option to not do it. I do it. First of all, because it's my job. Second of all, because it's my life. It's my lifestyle. And so I'm not going to change. And I love watching Shayy and I love watching Daniela because they really do love, to cook in the kitchen and to make these things. And I'm like sitting there, my mouth is watering because I'm not really like that. I'm boring in the kitchen. I get like HelloFresh delivered and I make what they give me because that's my creativity. So I love you guys. I love watching you, but I don't do that. I can eat the same thing. I know, Shayy, you're going to be like, oh, you're so boring. I can like eat the same thing over and over. Like that's not a problem for me. So, and I love like just how different we are. Because I could just eat regular grilled chicken every day and be really happy.
No, it's so individual. You have to find what works for you. And I did talk about in my latest video that repetition can be your friend. If you are struggling with trying to instill a habit, you're going to have to repeat it over and over again. But once you get the habit going, then you can switch things up. Instead of having this meal, maybe I can slide in this meal, as long as you're getting that habit going. But honestly, repetition is the best way to do it. I know it's how bodybuilders do it. It's how everyone who's been successful with losing weight does it. It's how people who live an active and healthy lifestyle, it's how they do it. Like I know my therapist or my son's therapist, she's always like, I gotta eat at this time. Like she's very like particular. Like because she's so busy. She's a mom. She's a psychologist. She runs her own business, right? So she's like scheduling helps to make sure she doesn't forget to eat. Because if you forget to eat, you may overeat or like not eat enough, which is really important. So I think scheduling and repetition is everything. So yeah.
Agreed.
Paul?
Thanks, Misty, by the way.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm just thanking Misty for calling me experienced, not old.
Yeah, for me, you know what? I'm learning a lot from the three of you for this answer because, as always, I'm going to be truthful here. And I think I learned a big lesson with Thanksgiving because as things, just the way things just happen to fall into place. Timing wise, I finished a half marathon a couple of weeks ago. So I was at my like race weight, which, means like I was lean. I was looking as good as I can look. So I came into Thanksgiving sort of like I can afford to put on a couple of pounds here without like sort of losing control from a physical place. But one thing I think I really learned this time is that if it's a special holiday, over several years past, I would sit there and I would try to fight it. I would be like, no, I'm not going to eat a lot of turkey, or no, I'm not going to eat a lot of ham and lasagna and stuff at Christmas. I'm going to do my best to try to not indulge, and it never worked. It would always be like I'd have a small meal at Christmas, and then I'd kind of sneak downstairs at midnight, and you know what I mean. And the next thing you know, I'm eating, you know, this massive meal in the middle of the night, and you know, and it's just.
I feel that.
I found that to be my pattern. So this year I'm going into Christmas thinking, you know what? It's the holidays. There's going to be a ton of unbelievable food in my house, and I'm doing it. I'm going in, and you know, I guess I have the advantage of I'm about to start another training block on, you know, December 10th. So I will hopefully drop a couple of pounds before Christmas, and kind of, you know what I mean? Be able to afford to put on a little weight again over that Christmas weekend. I don't think that that's probably good advice for anybody, but again, truthful, and as I said, I learned so much from like the, you know, establishing habits through repetition from you guys, like you were just talking about. That's a great way, you know.
And that, you know, that works for you, Paul. Like on Thanksgiving, I go all out. Like I'm not making like, you know, calorie-free stuffing. I'm going all in. I'm all in. In fact, I had some people ask me, they're like, do you really eat like that? And I'm like, no. I go, but on Thanksgiving, yes. On Christmas Day, yes. I go all in.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we go for it on that one day. And I think if you allow yourself to indulge with parameters, that's not bad. Like that's keeping it within reason, right? And like Daniela, like all you guys have had an influence on me, OMAD. So like on Thanksgiving, that's what I did. Like I didn't eat in the morning. I indulged for our big meal, and then I was stuffed.
Nice.
But I helped myself. Like I ate, and it was wonderful. And I think that's okay. Like we don't have to live in scarcity, right? Especially in the holidays, within reason. Like let's be friendly with ourselves.
Yeah, and I love how you said indulging like consciously, because as someone who struggles with binge eating disorder, I have recently learned through my journey that I can actually do that. Because like the last week I was purposely eating more to kind of help my symptoms, and it didn't help. But forget about that part. But it was a win because I was able to purposely eat more for 2 days and then just go back to it and not have those sensations of like, I need to eat everything. So like that is a power, that is a skill, because even on your fitness journey, weight loss journey, running journey, or whatever journey you're on, you're going to need days where you need to eat more. And when you have those days, you can use it to your advantage. Like I was going to say, Paul, like the days that you're going to eat more, you know, go hit the weights hard. It's going to help with muscle growth. Or go, you know, try to break a PR or what have you. So it's so important to understand it's not about scarcity only. Like I'm sure people have that perception of me, like, oh man, no, I'm enjoying. I'm having sushi very soon. Like I'm gonna have a nice meal out and everything. But it allows me to do that because it like OMAD, it literally lets me budget my calories in like that. Like I'm enjoying myself. I'm never super strict. Like today I broke my fast at 16 hours. I didn't do 20, 24. Like I listen to my body, and it's all about flexibility and understanding what your body needs at a certain time. Like sometimes you're going to need to restrict because, oh, hey, the scale's moving up a bit, or, you know, I'm getting a bit bloated. So maybe you need to dial it down just a bit, and you do it for a bit, and then you have your days and you enjoy. But it's all about understanding yourself. And that's where that whole self-awareness comes in. And it takes time, and it can be done. So, yeah.
You just said what I was trying to say, but in a good way, like in an understandable way.
Oh, Paul, you're so nice. I try. I fumble words. I'm learning to speak more eloquently, but I do fumble words. Fun fact, when I was younger, I didn't talk. I was like a mute. I had to go to speech therapy. I just didn't talk. And then ever since I went to speech therapy, I was talking up the storm. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was like childhood anxiety, something, but I just like didn't talk.
You speak eloquently, like in your videos. I'm just like getting motivated.
Daniela always has a positive effect on me every time she starts speaking.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's what I want because the alternative sucks. Okay, I don't want to be miserable, even though I'm going through a miserable time. But you have to have that positive mindset. You always have to look at the good. You have to, because the alternative for me is depression, and I don't have time for that.
No.
Like deep down, like there's depression where you have and you're like, oh, I'm depressed, but I'm gonna try to do things, and then there's depression that you have and you're like done, like you can't move, you're debilitated. So, yeah.
You don't want
that. My next question for everyone is, as you know, the holidays can be a stressful time. How do you plan on implementing self-care throughout the holiday season?
Me first?
Oh, yeah, sorry, Shayy. Yes, we're going to keep... Sorry.
It's okay. I thought you were going to answer yourself and then...
Oh, yeah, you should. Okay, I'm so sorry. I left the building. Okay, so for me personally, I'm just going to continue on with what I'm doing. I purposely am making mental health and self-care a routine anyway. So I'm just going to continue it on. Maybe something special I can do if I'm feeling overwhelmed. Maybe I'll just take the time to like grab my son and go look at some Christmas trees and just have an act of self-care, just being present with him and looking at like, you know, what's going on, all the decorations and stuff. And for myself, taking a moment to myself, maybe just sitting by the tree at night, you know, having it dark and just, you know, appreciating this year and how lucky I am. Yeah, I'm going through hell, but there's always something to be grateful for. So yeah, that's how I plan on implementing self-care with myself. Thanks, Shayy. Your turn.
Okay. So I personally have 2 self-care days a week. So I usually do one at the start of the week and then one at the end when I'm like exhausted from like a week of just working. And it's been working for me so far. And in the past, I used to look to food for comfort. And I've really been breaking that habit. Like before, I used to have a rough week at work and I'd be like, oh, you know, I kind of want to order a pizza. Well, now it's like, oh no, I want to go home and I want to have my healthy baking, or I want to try a new recipe, you know, stuff like that. And now what I do is I take like a nice long bath, you know, I'll play some meditation music or watch some Netflix in the tub. And it's just like, it's just nice and relaxing, honestly. So I'm going to continue to do that. And I know seasonal depression is coming up. So I got to find some new methods. You know, it's the snow's here in Canada, so we can't be walking outside no more. So all my self-care is inside.
I feel you. Well, I will unfortunately be walking because I decided to get a dog, but that's part of my so it's part of, I got her purposely kind of for that. Well, I love dogs, but just to get myself outside because it does help, even though it sucks. But yeah, there are totally a lot of strategies you can use, Shayy. I was thinking about, I don't know if you mentioned the sad lamp. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes, I've heard of that, but I don't know if it works. Like I need somebody to tell me if it does.
I'm going to be doing a video on a whole bunch of things with seasonal depression disorder because mine came in early because I decided to move to the Arctic and it's darker here.
Yeah.
So, like back in Ontario, where like southern Ontario, it would be dark around like, you know, 4:35 in November. Yep. Here it happens in October. So everything came on early for me and that usually causes insomnia. But I'm going to do a whole video on seasonal affective disorder because it impacts so many people and there's so many things we can do with our nutrition, supplements to just help us out. So yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Shayy. Kirsten.
No, seasonal affective disorder is a real thing. I lived in Ohio for a long time and it's gray skies and cold and the blues set in and it's real. And there's vitamin D deficiency and all kinds of stuff that goes on with the blues and it is no fun. But there are things that you can do to change that regarding sleep and light, like Daniela said, and nutrition. And so I truly recommend that. Stay on top of that. Stay ahead of that before that hits. And Shayy, I love the fact that you've turned what you used to reward yourself with bad food, you've turned that into something else. That is a gift that you've done. because I really promote my clients to do that. I'm like, well, if you treat yourself with ice cream every night, why not turn that into something else, like maybe quiet time with a book or something like that? So kudos to you for actually making that lifestyle change. That's huge. And that is a huge goal for most people. So instead of rewarding yourself, and we know what's dangerous, we know what's risky, we know what's within the parameters. It's not terrible to reward yourself with something within reason, but you don't want to go make it into a snowball effect where you can't stop or it turns into a habit. We want to have a positive influence on ourselves. So self-care needs to be positive for us, not necessarily rewarding with food. And a lot of times people they grow up that way. You know, their parents or whoever took care of them rewarded them with food. So they grew up thinking that was the right thing to do. So it's kind of a behavioral change that we're looking at there. But with us being adults, we can really do that for ourselves if we're mindful enough to be like, instead of me enjoying an ice cream sundae every night, I'm going to enjoy downtime in the tub, and then I'm going to read my favorite book. I'm going to listen to my favorite music, do something that's actually going to be good for me. So, but for me, positive downtime is extremely important to me. I've incorporated it kind of into my lifestyle. So I shut it down same time every night. You know, you're not going to see me up at 11 o'clock. I mean, maybe oddly if I have something else going on, but I shut it down like at a good time. I have my family time. Family is very important to me. Weekends are very important to me. So I know when to shut it down. I know when to, bring it back up. So positive downtime, reading, listening to music, listening to podcasts I enjoy. Exercise is positive downtime for me. Running, I've incorporated running. Thank you, Paul. So, things like that, and just incorporate it into your life, but then keep it going during the holidays. I don't care how busy you are, keep it going. It needs to be part of your lifestyle.
Yeah, it's so important. It needs to be a lifestyle. That's the only way this is going to happen. It has to be part of your routine, and it's just the easiest way to make it happen for you. So thank you for that answer, Kirsten. I really do appreciate it. Paul, you need the question, or are you okay?
No, I think I'm good. If I start wandering off in a different direction, just stop me.
No worries.
But yeah, I think I've got like a two sides to this answer. I think the first one, which Danielle, which Kirsten just touched on, is just the exercise itself. I think just being disciplined and regular with daily exercise is so hugely important, and it doesn't really count as downtime for me because it's kind of like what I do, you know what I mean, like every single day. But doing something, and it doesn't have to be running, if it's weightlifting or aerobics or whatever the case is, something that is hard. Do something hard every day that's physically hard every day, because there is nothing like doing something that's physically hard that makes you suddenly all the mountain of problems in your life that are weighing on your back, it doesn't take but minutes before all that disappears, and the only thing you're thinking about is just hold on to this last mile going fast, or come on, you can get 5 more reps out of these weights. You know what I mean? Like, you are in the moment. Like, all of the other stresses in life disappear when you are literally just trying to pick something up that's heavy or continue running fast when your legs are dying. That goes a long way to allow you to be far less stressed overall in life. It gives you an outlet to blow that stress off in a healthy way. The other side of that, though, to me, Daniela, is what you see on the wall behind me. The second I was finished with my race a couple of weeks ago, and I knew I was going to be doing sort of like a downtime, like, just kind of giving my body that chance to rebuild, I didn't even have to consciously go and say, well, I haven't played guitar really a lot in the last few months. Let me go pick one up and see what happens. It was like, it just naturally, I just found myself with a guitar in my hand, and I was like being creative, and it was like this wonderful outlet. Like instead of just constantly like, okay, I've got 15 miles today. Oh, I've got 10 miles the next day. And it's just that can become even the physical exercise thing can become a bit mundane if you just hit it too hard for too long. You got to have some downtime from everything. So I would say switch it up every once in a while and find the things that you really truly love, the things that you can be happy with when you're by yourself in a room for hours. Hours can go by and you're still happy. Then you know you found something that really is going to help you.
I love that, Paul. Just finding something that brings you peace, that brings you happiness. And I think that's spiritual too. Just
absolutely.
Like, so it's so important to have that aspect a part of your life. And what you were saying about exercise and how it makes you feel good, literally exercise for your mental health. Like I was on Instagram scrolling away, and I saw some science-based person talking about how exercise actually improves the gray matter in your brain.
Absolutely.
How wild is that? Like, it's crazy. So I want people to stop associating exercise with weight loss, because you see a lot of comments where people, they reach their weight or they're quote unquote lean or thin, and they're like, why do you work out so much? Because they're doing it for their longevity, for their mood, for their health, for their bone density, for so much, their cardiovascular fitness. Like, exercise is truly, it needs to be viewed as an act of self-care and not something that we do to punish ourselves for gaining weight or punish ourselves for what have you. It's not about that. And I think that culture is getting there, but I think we still got to reach a lot of people when it comes to spreading that message, because I'm just so happy.
I think some of it has to do with age. And here I am bringing age up again. You know, the more experienced you are, the younger you are, it is aesthetics. You know, people want to look a certain way, and that's not a bad thing. I'm like, look, if you're exercising because you want to look a certain way, go for it, right? That's not a bad thing. However, the older you get, the more you don't care about that, the more you care about quality of life, living longer. I want to be able to throw my grandkid up in the air and catch him, you know, like things like that. I want to stay the size I am. It becomes about different things rather than, well, that last one was kind of aesthetics, but it becomes more quality of life. I want it to be in good health. I want my brain to be healthy. I don't want dementia. You know, I want to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Things like that become more important. We're just human beings. As we age, that stuff becomes more important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say, Daniela, when you were talking about I'm trying to boil this down. I think a lot of people get started with any kind of physical activity for weight loss. I think a lot of people even start running for weight loss. And I'm thinking, you know, this is a means to an end. I hate it, but I'm going to get it done. But if you stick with it long enough, and I'm not just talking about running, it's just anything physical. If you stick with it long enough, once it becomes habit and you're not forcing yourself anymore, if you can be disciplined for that first few weeks, and you kind of break through this wall eventually, where it's kind of like, yeah, this is just what I do. And you're not thinking about it in terms of, it's not a punishment anymore. It becomes, it just opens up a whole new world to you. You suddenly it becomes more spiritual. You know what I mean? When you're no longer struggling and breathing hard and your muscles don't hurt when you're doing it anymore, it suddenly becomes this means to focusing your mind and enjoying being alone. And that's, I think, has a lot to do with why physical activity helps you mentally.
Paul, how long did it take you to get there?
It depends how honest I want to be, but because, you know, I could say, I think in all honesty, it's not like you just break through that wall and you stay there. You always have to kind of work to kind of keep yourself there. I mean, because everybody has a bad day. I don't go out every day and run and love it. Like, I have days where I'm like, I'm doing it because I have to. According to me, I have to. But most of the time, it really sets me up to feel better mentally as well as physically. And I know that's where the discipline comes in. But how long did it take me to break through that wall? When I initially started sort of walk running 11, 12 years ago, I knew within 6 weeks that this was it for me. I would never stop for the rest of my life, so long as I'm physically capable, because I found that spot where I wasn't hating it anymore. It was actually something that was bringing me a lot of joy, because I always kept it slow enough where I wasn't trying to kill myself. You know what I mean? It was just sort of something that I could maintain comfortably, somewhat semi-comfortably. And then my mind could wander and I could start thinking about the other problems in my life. And it became a time to get away from all, like I was saying, all the other troubles in life. And I could focus, and there were no other voices. There was nothing but me and the road and listening to my feet hit the ground. And that rhythm just kind of gets you into a Zen state of mind, and you can just solve your own problems. So yeah, about 6 weeks in, Kirsten.
I love what Tom Bilyeu says, the guy who invented Quest Chips. I didn't know he did. He's one of the owners. He said that the body is a great tool to get to the mind. And it's so true. Like, as you're pushing yourself through exercise, you start to have conversations with yourself. So that's when you start to get to know yourself. Because you start telling yourself, well, maybe I can like slow it down for this mile because I'm feeling out of breath, or I can just do it tomorrow. Like, you learn how you respond to situations, and that can be applied to multiple areas in life, not just fitness. And that's why I think the beauty of fitness. You can learn things like discipline and self-motivation through fitness and apply it to other areas of your life. So it's just a beautiful thing. And to touch base on what you said earlier about aesthetics and age, Kirsten, I think it's changing. I think there's so many young people with so many chronic ailments right now. It's blowing my mind. And it's not just people who are quote unquote overweight like me. It's people who look like quote unquote healthy, but they might be dealing with like IBS symptoms and chronic headaches. Like, I don't know if you guys remember Move with Jen. I was talking to her about all of this. And I plan on doing a live stream with her in January to talk about all this. She was suffering with chronic migraines and really bad bloat, and she found out she has a allergy to gluten. And it spiraled down into so much effect that she was borderline celiac disease.
Oh, wow.
So I feel like a lot of people of the millennial generation and younger, the Gen Zers, they're growing up with all these ailments. Like Mr. Beast, for example, the biggest YouTuber of all time. He had Crohn's disease at 15. Like, they say it's genetic, but there's dietary, like that stuff like that shouldn't be happening to a 15-year-old. Like getting Crohn's disease and all of this. So like, I think our generation is going to be forced to be hyper focused on our health because something went wrong. Or the foods that we're eating and the culture that we have of stress and all of that kind of just turn things around for a lot of people. So I think more people are realizing eating healthy is like a necessity now if I want to feel good. And a lot of people realize they're eating foods and they're not feeling good and they don't know why. And it could be foods triggering inflammatory responses in them. So it's wild how things are changing. It really is. It really is. And I think more and more people are doing it for health more than anything, regardless of if they're on a weight loss journey or not. So many people deal with chronic ailments you never would know.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, nutrition and fitness, I mean, if you ask me, it is medicinal. Nutrition and fitness for longevity, for quality of life, to change things. Like if you have allergies, if your body's responding a certain way, yes. You change your nutrition, you be more active, it will change everything. Prevention of disease, diabetes, cancer, heart disease, metabolic disease, fitness. That's what fitness does. So yes, it's medicinal. It is definitely medical. Definitely. And we all need to do it. We all need to do it. So we need to figure out what works for us. What do we enjoy doing? What can we fit in our lives? If we have a busy schedule, figure it out. How are you going to get it in? Just like you wouldn't skip brushing your teeth during the day. You know, you wouldn't skip meals. Well, maybe you would. Hopefully you would. But it's as important as that. It's imperative. What are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a great way to it's a great way to realize that we are all, when it comes down to it, physical animals. You know, we have to be physically active. It's in the last, I don't know, let's say 200 years, it's become such a normal part of society for us to be sitting down and working all day long. And it's just like, it's become just part of the culture where, unfortunately, if you're out there being physically active every day, you are the exception to the rule. You're the weird one.
Yeah.
And people need to get back in touch with the fact that you have limits physically, but you can change those limits way faster than you think you can. Yeah. Go out there for 6 weeks, force yourself, discipline yourself, and force yourself out the door every day. And you'll find that those physical limits just come way down. Like, you get so strong so fast. It's the human body it's just incredible what it can do in such a short amount of time to adapt to the challenges you set for it. So, and the only other thing I want to say on this, because I wanted to say this before when you were speaking, Daniela, you kind of got real close to this subject matter. I think if you want to excel in other parts of your life, whether that be, career-wise or anything else, I think when you challenge yourself physically, you come up against your own mental barrier that you're forced to confront it. You know what I mean? Like you were saying, Daniela, I don't want to run this fast right now. Maybe I'll slow down this mile.
Yeah.
Or maybe I won't even get out the door today because I'm not feeling that great.
Yeah.
No, you get out there. And then when you get out there, find your limit and stay as close to that limit as you can for as long as you can, because that will make you get stronger faster. But it will also force you up against all those negative voices that are waiting for you inside your own head that are going to tell you, slow down. You can't do this. You're not in good enough shape. All your neighbors are looking out their window and they're laughing at you. All the negative crap that is going to stop you. And the more, if you stay disciplined for that, it takes 6 weeks to build a habit. So you just get out there every day and you're going to be forced to deal with the worst critic you have, which is yourself. And you're going to learn to push past those voices. And you're going to learn that, no, I'm not getting in my own way anymore. I can do this. I can put up with 10 minutes of pain. And then a week later, where you were hitting that pain point isn't there anymore. And you can't continue to tell yourself, I'm limited because of someone else. You're limiting yourself. Yeah. And the more you keep up with it, the more regular you get about any kind of physical activity, it teaches you mentally that you can push past your limits, even if it's talking about moving up at work or whatever your goals are, improving your family relationships, whatever it is. You're the main person in your own way, and you are perfectly capable of getting past those limitations if you just keep pushing yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that, Paul. You said it beautifully.
I hope so. I thought I was long-winded, but hopefully
No,
you made a point.
You're helping, trust. You are helping out a lot. I just want to touch base on 2 comments here. This one by your pal Misty. Hi, Misty. I think that people who are doing it for weight loss think there is an end goal in stopping for it. People doing it for health know it's for the rest of their life. Honestly, when I first started my weight loss journey, it was always, or like working at the gym, it was always to lose weight. I would cycle through these 40 pounds, lose it. I would hit the 40 pounds and then I would stop working out. And guess what would happen? Everything will pile up. And then it only took through time to realize that this is about a lifestyle. about health. It's about continuing it on. And that's what I want. This message that Misty just posted or just commented here, everyone starting a weight loss journey needs to know this. They have to. And I think that is so important. Unless, do you guys want to add any more to that before I go on to the next comment I want to highlight from Misty?
Yeah, I mean, we're all in a stage of fitness, pre-contemplative, contemplative, action. But, you know, once we've gone through all of that, we're all in maintenance forever. If you're living on this earth, you're in maintenance stage because you can always go backwards and then we got to go forwards again. We are never done. As long as you're breathing and you're walking on this earth, you are not done. I don't care who you are. If you're a trainer, if you're a coach, you're not done. You're maintaining your fitness. There is no finish line for maintaining your health while you're alive.
Absolutely. I think Misty's 2 sentences actually really reflect sort of like there's a point you start off sort of trying to get away from the negative. You know what I mean? Like you try to prevent the bad is the way everybody starts their fitness journey is I need to get in better shape. I need to save my own life, you know, etc. But then there's that point where you realize, wait a minute, I'm perfectly capable of whatever exercise I've chosen, the one that I enjoy the most. And I'm no longer doing it just to stop the negative from happening, but it's because I'm enjoying it. And it's because now I'm setting goals. I want to get better. I don't just want to prevent the bad, but I'm chasing the better. And that's, I think, exactly what Misty is saying here. And I just love it.
Yeah. For you, Shayy, like, how has your journey evolved? Like, I'm not sure. Did you start off as a weight loss channel?
No, originally it was about my hair.
Oh.
And then I just, honestly, I really wanted to be on YouTube. And then I kind of started my fitness journey with weight loss, but it was like an unhealthy weight loss. It was kind of like that temporary goal of, oh, I just want to lose weight, you know, doing whatever I can to lose weight, and became unhealthy. And a lot of people were asking me, you know, advice like, oh, how did you do this? How did you start getting into fitness? How did you stay consistent? And I started to make my channel. So I started posting and people were like, wow, this is motivating. And I'm like, oh, this is really encouraging me. And then I realized that, like Missy said, like it's not a short-term goal, it's a long-term goal. And that because I'm the type of person, I need to have goals to keep going. And when it was weight loss, I would get to a point where I liked how I looked, but there was always something else to fix. You know what I mean? So when I started realizing that, I decided, you know what, I want to start getting stronger instead of just focusing on being skinny, you know? So I started in the gym, and at first I had like a couple of gym buddies. We were so scared. I was so intimidated by the gym, but you know, a couple of them, they would come with me, we'd try the machines out, stuff like that. But I remember every time I got intimidated or scared, I would go back to like the cardio machines, which was a bad habit. But eventually I kind of gained the confidence to start getting into weightlifting, going into the weight section, stuff like that. It took a couple years, but I finally did it. And now the stage where I'm at is I focus more on strength and being healthy. And now fitness is just a part of my routine. I don't think of it as a goal. There's no like end game for me. Now it's just, I want to, you know, be healthy. I want to fight all those diseases and just live a good life. So I know to do that, it's, you know, exercising, eating well, sleeping, stuff like that.
Yes.
So it's just, I don't know.
No, that's awesome. No, because I always wanted to know. I knew your channel started off with all of that, and I just loved seeing you evolve into making this just a healthy lifestyle. And you're doing it to get strong, because you know us as women, we need that strength. We need that muscle, because age, I think it's it's 25 or 30, we lose that bone density, and it's just so important for us to maintain it for our hormonal health and overall health. And yes, for you men too, it's just as important. So yeah. The next comment I wanted to highlight was, oh boy, I lost it, but it was something about,
Misty has some good
I
comments.
found it. She does.
This is a good one too.
I sometimes struggle with the line between pushing myself in a healthy manner and pushing myself too far. It can be a balance for me. Oh, Misty, it took me years of me hurting myself over and over again, or me having to take a break from workouts to learn that balance. And now I'm at a new challenge with this concussion, so that's even harder. It's so important to know that balance, and you're only going to learn it through failure. I have to say it. You're going to learn it through failure. You're going to realize, oh crap, I pushed myself this hard. And then you sit with yourself and be like, what was I doing? Maybe every 6 weeks I need to take a full break from the gym or whatnot. It's about going through the motions and being aware of what you're doing. Anyone else want to add anything to this lovely comment? Thank you, Misty.
Yeah, I mean,
well, I would have to say that, go ahead. No, Kirsten, you go.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say we all want the world and we want it now. You just got to learn. Sometimes it takes a little longer. Just got to slow down the progress a little bit so you don't hurt yourself.
Yeah. I need that advice.
I mean, it's hard because we're all trying to get stronger, right? We're all trying to achieve our goals. So what is the safe way to do that? And so pain is communication. So when you're experiencing pain in your body, it's your body saying, okay, that's enough. So the closer you can get with your body and knowing your body and know when, okay, that's not a good pain, I have to scale back. I mean, I know when I went to 20 pounds in my boot camps, I hurt my shoulder. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I can't do that. And it takes a while to recover from an injury. And so you learn, like Daniela said, you learn from your failures, you know your body, you know your body's communication, and you know when to scale it back. And I would say, you know what? Good for you. Good for you that you're pushing yourself so much. Good for you that you're trying to reach your goals. Because I deal with a lot of people who are like, don't really want to do that. They've been, no, I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, good for you, the fact that you are doing that.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree. I think it's better to have the problem that Misty and I have. Because,
Amen.
It's better to have, because finding that motivation, it's up to that person. Whereas with dialing back, it's easier to have someone watching you. Like right now I'm having my concussion therapist watch me and everybody watching me. It's easy for them to be like, okay, maybe not lift that heavy or maybe not work out that much. It's easier to dial back than it is to push forward, because pushing forward, it's all on that person. They have to want it, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Water. Is it a horse or a donkey? I screw up idiots. You can't bring a horse to water, right?
You got it.
Good. You just can't. Not at all. Anyone else have any last finishing comments that you guys want to talk about?
You know, I'd love to. I just feel like it's not a Fitness Friends live stream if somebody doesn't say it's all about getting to the point where you're not depending on motivation anymore, where discipline just becomes what it's all about, that you're just going to get out there whether you want to or not. When you reach the point where you can ignore the emotion of I want to go out there or I don't want to go out there. On the days when you do want to go out there, great. Motivation takes care of itself and you're going to go out there. But if you can learn to just turn off the emotional side of your brain long enough to get you out the door, then 90% of the work is over. You know what I mean? Like once you're out there, you're going to get the job done. So yeah, just learning to just do it whether you want to or not. That's the big thing.
Discipline.
Yes, discipline. And trust me, discipline does make things easier in a weird way, because you mentally level up. It's hard to explain.
Yep.
As you go through the motions, it just becomes second nature. It's like your automatic part of your brain takes over. The Power of Habit and Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, and all these books about habit talk about that. You want to make it automatic, just like how we're driving. You know, we go into autopilot zone. Well, we want to go into autopilot zone with exercising, or autopilot zone with being like, I'm going to grab a veggie plate today instead of this, or autopilot zone about being, you know, planning your meals or your cheat meals, because you need that. You need that balance.
Yep.
Anyway, I just want to say, what do you guys each have coming up with your channel? Anything fun coming up for over the holidays or the New Year, Shayy?
Well, for me, New Year's is a time where a lot of people start to get into their fitness journeys. Like they go on this little, I want to get healthy, you know. It's like a huge surge of people, and I saw last year there was like a huge need for a guide, kind of like how to start their fitness journey, how to stay disciplined, how to stay consistent. So I'm trying to plan out my content to kind of like strategically have everything come out around that time, New Year's. So there's resources, there's guides for people, and just want to encourage people to start, you know, being healthy and setting goals and being consistent, stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. Just encouraging people to start, and New Year's or January is a great time. And I know a lot of people have their opinions about New Year's resolution. I'm one of them. But one of my biggest transformation inspiration, Louise's journey, she made that promise to herself on January 1st, 2020, and she lost 100 pounds by October using an extreme calorie deficit. So it can work. There are habit hacks to that. Like with the knowledge I know, reading all of these books, they talk about the first of the month, the first of the week, or the first of the year. It really, because humans are so like rhythmic. We're rhythmic with everything we do. We follow a calendar. Our hormones are rhythmic with the sun going up and down. That's why this time of year throws off a lot of people with seasonal affective disorder. So it's just so important. So I love that. I love that. Kirsten.
Well, for me, you know, managing YouTube and my life has always been a challenge and a balance for me. I am expecting a baby, my grandbaby, in a couple weeks. So for me, I'm trying to balance everything. And so I'm going to continue my 10-minute intensity workouts through January. January is going to be a little different, though. I'm going to focus on like planks or squats, and I'm going to do a workout around that, and then I'm going to do a challenge because I do 2 uploads a week. So I'm going to focus on one thing, do a workout, and then challenge the next day. So that's January. And I've got some fun challenges coming up in December and January on my Facebook challenge page, which I'm excited about. But, you know, it's all balancing because, I mean, in 2 weeks, my life's just going to be crazy. Crazy in a good way.
That's kind of crazy, exactly.
Excited for you.
That's awesome.
Paul?
Let's see. I'm going to be launching my Dev Runner coaching website in the next few days. So I'm very excited about that. You know, because I've had so many people over the last couple of years just kind of come to me and ask me in a non-formal way about coaching. And I finally reached a point where I needed a more professional outlet for that side of my running career. So that's coming soon. The 2 things that are really got me excited specifically about my YouTube channel are that, you know, I guess I'm letting it leak here. I did a little while ago, sort of. I made first mention that on December 10th, I am beginning the new training block for my 2023 spring marathon. So I will be attempting a new marathon PR on March 4th at the Myrtle Beach Marathon.
Wow.
And I'm also very excited because I am now occasionally guesting over on Susie of I Run Things YouTube channel because she has taken me on as her coach. And she is, after 10 years of trying, she has brought me on board to get her qualified for the Boston Marathon for the first time in her life. So we're working towards that. And it's very exciting. I'm very excited for her as well. I think it's going to be a very inspiring and motivational series on her channel. So if you don't already know who Susie of I Run Things is, everybody, go check that out.
Oh, wow. I'm so excited for that. Absolutely excited. Well, I just want to say thank you to Shayy, our special guest, for joining us today on our Fitness Friends podcast, or whatever you want to call it. I really appreciate you being here. You're our major support. I love your content. I love your energy. And I'm just so happy to have you on my channel and joining these two lovely people. Kirsten, thank you so much as always.
Thank you.
I absolutely adore you on so many levels. I just like smile.
I love you too.
Thank you. And Paul, you are just absolutely phenomenal. I love your passion for running. I love your content. I love who you are. I love that you're into music. You're a rocker. You love fitness a lot. And I appreciate your kindness that you've shown towards me. I can't wait to start running with you because it's going to happen.
Yeah, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. We don't want to jump in too soon. You got to be ready when you're ready.
But it's going to happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Before we get out of here, Daniela, let me just have the opportunity to say how much I love you and Kirsten and Shayy. It's so great to meet you. I cannot wait to start following your adventures on YouTube. So, guys, thank you for letting me share the screen with you.
Yes, thank you, everybody. Shayy, I'm telling you, Shayy, you get lost in her videos because you're like part of her class, and you're like, what is she making? What the gym? Check her channel out, you guys. Amazing.
Amazing. One's channel below. I appreciate you guys so much, and I hope you guys know you're so much more powerful than you think. Never give up. Strive for your goals, and always make sure to have a good time while you're doing it. Anyway, take care.
Have a great one, everyone.
Bye.